Morning everybody, how you all doing? This could turn into a pretty long rant. I'm not going to go into the same issues that I talked about yesterday, but this is going to be about petitions again. Now, I had people trying to argue the point that petitions do something, and I've got to totally disagree with you on that. Petitions do absolutely nothing. Many of you who are around when I was around in the 80s and 90s will probably remember the news. People going to 10 Downing Street with big folders full of paper with people's signatures on it, petitions. What would happen is a representative of the government would come out from 10 Downing Street, have a little bit of a photo op, have their pictures taken with the people who would organise the petition. They'd take the petition inside 10 Downing Street, they'd shut the door, and then that petition would go straight in the bin. That's how much political weight a petition carries on its own. For a petition to do absolutely anything, it needs people to get behind it once it's been done, to use it for political gain. So that would be the opposition party or the mainstream media using the petition to hold the government to account, to speak truth to power. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen anymore. 1990s, pre-1997, yeah, you could say a petition did do something. It may have actually started a debate, got people talking. But in this day and age where you've got a mainstream media that can ignore a yellow vest protest in France for well over nearly 2.5 years without reporting on it, what do you think an effect an online petition is going to have when they can just ignore it? Nothing. And I've heard people coming to my video yesterday in the comment section and giving this argument. One of my commentators, and I fully understand what they were saying, and I get the reasoning behind it. I really do. They said they know their 86-year-old mother signs these petitions knowing full well they won't do anything, but it gives her hope and it makes her feel like she's doing something. That they're not the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who still believe that these petitions carry some kind of weight and it will make the government do something. But if we look back to that lady, that's exactly what they're designed to do. They give you the thought that you're actually doing something when in reality you're doing nothing. And then what happens after you've signed that petition? You think you've done your bit, you don't do anything else. The anger within society dissipates a little bit because people feel like they've done something. And that's exactly what these petitions are designed to do. They're designed to make you feel like you've done something, and that once you've signed that petition, you won't go and join a protest. You won't keep on the pressure because you've already felt like you've done something. That's the point in these online government petitions. And I already see that people, even after covering it themselves, saying that the government ignored the petition with 400,000 signatures on it to repeal the online safety bill, they're now pushing another petition to get the Manchester assaulter, the guy who assaulted those female police officers, deported. And that petition will have the same effect as all the others. Zero. Nothing. All it will do is make you feel like you've done something when you've done nothing in reality. And again, dissipates the anger a little bit because it makes people feel like they've actually done something. So I'm not having a go at anybody for signing a petition. I'm just saying the cold, hard reality of things. I don't sugarcoat anything. And this is the reality of the situation. Petitions do nothing on their own. You can sign any petition you like until you're blue in the face. But without anybody picking them up and doing something with them, like a decent opposition party or the mainstream media, then all they are is a bunch of signatures on a website. That's it. It's like having a loaded gun when you're in the middle of a firefight and never using it. That's exactly what online petitions are. And I'm sorry to break this reality to people, but it's true. Your time would be far better spent than signing a online petition. If you can't get out to protest, share the content of content users, citizen journalists who are actually out there on the streets trying to make a difference, trying to report on the truth. Share their material, because sharing content like that is doing far more than signing an online petition. You're spreading the word, you're spreading the truth, and that is far more dangerous to the government than an online petition. Really is. So for all of you out there who feel like you can't do anything, share content. Find out who the auditors are, the people with boots on the ground reporting all these protests. Share the protests. Share the protesters' pages advertising protests. That is far more effective than signing these online petitions, because you're part of the link in the chain that is spreading this information everywhere. You will be doing the job that the mainstream media should be doing, because we can make all the content we like, but without you, the audience, sharing it, liking it, posting comments, it doesn't go very far, doesn't spread very far. There are still millions of people that don't go on the internet, that only get their information from the mainstream media. That's why great swaths of the country are still fast asleep regarding what's going on with this country. They all think everything's perfectly fine. And talking of perfectly fine, going off tangent here, going off into a different subject now. Last year, the government brought in legislation under the radar, and I'll leave this on my community post section of my channel so you can all go and have a read of it, that any bank transactions over £800, the bank can now legally withhold that money for a period of 4 days and then release it to you. That's your money. You no longer have control over your own money in your own bank, and that came right under the radar. Nobody saw it coming. People have seen the effects of it because we've seen reports of it online. We've seen people talking about it. There was a guy not long back that tried to buy, I think it was a motorbike for his son. He tried to withdraw, I think it was something like 1,500 or something out of his bank, and the bank refused him, wouldn't allow him to draw his money out, went into the bank personally to draw the money out. They called the police because he was kicking up a fuss about not being able to access his own money. This is all happening under the radar. Our freedoms are being eroded away on a daily basis, and people think signing, putting their signature to one of these online petitions is going to solve anything. It's not. It's really not. The only thing that's going to make a difference is when thousands upon thousands of people come out onto the streets and start protesting what's happening in our country. And online petitions give false hope to people, and that false hope stops them, many of them, from going that step further and coming out and doing the protests. They think, I've done my bit, I've signed the petition, and that's where it ends for them. That's why I made the video yesterday, to wake people up to the fact that, yeah, fair enough, it's your choice. If you want to sign an online petition, by all means do it. If you think it's going to, relieve anxiety that you're not doing anything, by all means do it. But that's all it is doing, is relieving your personal anxiety. It's having no real world effect whatsoever. It isn't. And that's just the unsugar-coated reality of things. There are lots of things going off in this country at the minute. Things are looking very, very serious between us and America at the minute as well. Look at what's happening. Offcom is being taken to federal court for threatening US citizens with prison over not censoring their online platforms. So a lot of people are saying, oh look, yeah, Ofcom's going to get taken to court, things are going to change. Well, I look further down the road and I look at what could happen. So say these American companies win their court battle and they refuse to censor these online social media platforms, because obviously they've got the First Amendment rights, constitutional rights to protect them, and they say, no, we're not going to apply your online safety bill to our social media platforms. What do you think Keir Starmer's going to do? Once again, it's the crisis solution issue, because he'll label it as America, as he's done with people in this country. He'll label it as America not wanting to protect children online. So what he'll do is he'll ban British citizens access to these social media sites, getting what he wants, and he'll do it all under the guise of protecting children. And this is an interesting thing, because we've seen Labour MPs coming out and attacking individuals, saying that if you're not behind this online safety bill, you don't want to protect children online. And as has been brought up by others, by other commentators, these are the same people who voted against a national grooming gang inquiry, which would, in reality, protect thousands, if upon not millions, of children. So they're hypocrites. They're liars. It's got nothing to do with saving children. It's got everything to do with protecting themselves from criticism, the government from criticism. If you actually look at the online safety bill, if it's really about protecting children, then why have they attached political speech as one of the things which the bill censors? You just go and look what it actually says. I believe it's talk about illegal immigration. Any talk about illegal immigration, censored. Online protests, censored. Why? Why is that attached to a bill that's supposedly to come into force to save children online? It's camouflage. It's so that anybody who opposes the censorship of this bill, the government can come out and say, well, these people don't support child safety. It's to demonise people. These people don't give a shit about children. They've used it as camouflage to protect their censorship of society. That's what it's been done for. Anyway, I've ranted enough. This is Vindicator, signing off.